Greetings to everyone. Today we are going to see about the impact testing machine, how it works, and how to get the results from the impact testing machine. The impact testing machine will have a wedges and pendulum. On a given specimen, it will be dropped from a height of 1.65 meter with the angle of 90 degree or 135 degree, as in the case of there are two types of impact tests, which is called as the Charpy impact and the ISO impact test. So normally, what is called as a impact load? The loads on which the material is subjected, whether a gradually apply load or a suddenly apply load or the impact load. So in the case of a gradually apply load, what will happen if a weight is dropped with a very small distance, that is 0.5 mm or 0.25 mm, very slowly, with the average value of 0 plus maximum value W by 2. So you will get W by 2. That is called as gradually apply load. But in the case of suddenly apply load, if you are dropping a material at a certain height like 5 mm or 2 mm or 3 mm suddenly, that is called as a suddenly apply load. The stress induced in the suddenly apply load is 2 times the stress induced in the case of gradually apply load, where sigma is the stress induced due to the gradually apply load. In the case of suddenly apply load, the stress induced sigma S will be of 2 times the sigma G. That is, sigma G is the gradually applied stress. But we are going to see about the impact load and the testing on impact specimen. So impact load is nothing but any load which is dropped at a larger height or it produces a stress at very multiple magnitude compared to the suddenly applied load. For example, I am dropping a hammer at a height of 0.5 meter or at a height of 1 meter on a table on a flat surface. That is called as a impact load. The stress induced in the impact load is very, very high compared to the suddenly applied load, which is in the magnitude of 20 times to 100 times or more than that. For example, so we are lifting a weight of say 2 tons at a height of say 5 meters or 10 meters while constructing a complex building or a structural building. So it suddenly, due to some failure, suddenly fall at a height of 5 meter or 10 meter. The load applied is a impact load. So you have to design very carefully whenever the impact load is applied. So normally in designing the foundation, you have to careful taking the allocation of the impact load. So now we are going to see about the impact testing machine, which consists of the lever arm, wedges, and we are dropping a weight pendulum of 25 kg F at a height of 1 meter or 1.65 meter height, either at an angle of 90 degree or 135 degree. So in the case of Charpy test, the pendulum will be dropped at an angle of 135 degree to the vertical. So the impact load in a given specimen, so which will be placed on the placing position of the impact testing machine, right, in a simply supported way. The edge is facing away from the striking edge. So here you can see the striking edge. So this is the pendulum, the striking edge coming and hitting the specimen in a simply supported means there will be a wedge which is of 5 mm by 5 mm and of thickness 2.5 meter. So that wedge will be away from the striking edge. So you have to see whether there is any error initially. So you have to swing the pendulum without any putting the specimen on a support condition. So it has to reach the 0 value in the calibration of the testing machine, which is fixed in the machine itself. So if it comes as 0 means there is no error due to the in the case of equipment. So if the specimen have 2 or 3 divisions on the scale after swinging and come to this position. That means there is an error. So this error has to be detected after getting the striking of the given specimen on the loading conditions. So here 0 means then you put the specimen, right, which is of cast iron or the mild steel material or any other material. The given dimensions of 55 mm, 10 mm by 10 mm, because the equipment is designed for those dimensions only. And a groove or a wedge will be of 5 mm by 5 mm and a depth of 2.5 to 3 mm, so that the material will or the specimen will file. And now you swing the pendulum at a height of, right, 1.65 meter at an angle of 135 degree. It strikes the specimen and give the reading. So the reading is, say, for example, 50 joules. So it is measured in terms of joules, right? And if there is any error, you have to detect it. Otherwise, here no error. That means 50 minus 0, so that is 50 joules. The energy stored due to the given specimen using the Charpy impact test is of 50 joules. So strain energy is measured in terms of joules or in terms of Newton meter. You know that 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. So what is a 1 joule? So we are having an applied force of 1 unit, that is 1 Newton or 1 kilonewton, that deform the material in the direction of the applied force of 1 unit distance, that is 1 meter. Then the product, right, 1 into the corresponding value of the distance, that is 1 meter. So 1 into 1, that is 1 Newton meter. So that is called as a joule. So that is the unit of joules. Either you can measure in terms of joules or Newton meter or kilonewton meter, whatever has been given in the case of industry or the things. The result should be given as per the given value of the results. So this is about the Charpy impact test using the Charpy impact testing machine. So in the next video, we can see about the ISO impact test, how to perform the experiment in the case of ISO impact using the impact testing machine. Thank you very much for patient listening. God bless. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன்.